Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we are going to have our discussion on the upcoming full moon, which is going to be taking place on February 16th in the Leo sign within Leo in the Magha Nakshatra. So friends, as you know this thing that when we talk about the time period of either new moon or full moon, so that remains a time when our subconsciousness, our psychological state, our mental health well-being tend to remain little bit on the radar. So now this becomes more important for all those people in whose case, for example, if your moon is conjunct with Ketu, or your moon is in any Kemdrum yoga, or your moon is conjunct with Saturn, so these are the kind of people who remain more vulnerable, that they have to guard their emotions during this time period. As friends, you know this thing that when we talk about the rhythms of the nature, so like sun, which is the significator or of our soul, our solar ego, our individuality, sun kind of represents the vital force within us. And when we talk from the moon's perspective, so moon, which is the significator of our subconsciousness, our our habits, our personality. So when we talk from the personality perspective, we get that information more from the moon. So friends, like the way you can say and see this alignment of full moon in this regard, that your inner self, which represents the sun, and your outer self, which represents moon, that tend to remain very far from each other. So because of that, all those people who have psychological concerns or any of the latent repressed emotions, they tend to remain on the guard. Now it's like, just because this is a monthly event, why I gave emphasize this time that I for past couple of weeks I stopped uploading videos on the full moon and the new moon, but this time I find it little bit important, because during this time moon is going to be in a certain alignment where it can actually put your emotional state little bit on the radar. So for example, first of all, we all know that right now the Kalsarp yoga has got formed, because all the planets are in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. So first of all, moon is going to be out of this axis. So that is the one red flag. The second thing is that this whole alignment is taking place in the Magha Nakshatra. So Magha, which is ruled by the planet Ketu, and even if you will see from the placement of sun and the moon, so the owner of the nakshatra of Magha, which is Ketu, that is kind of making a square combination, so which in itself makes the emotions, our feelings little bit on the radar. So because of which I thought, basis all the ascendants or the moon sign, specifically the moon sign, it becomes very important to understand how to handle and how to plan yourself, because I do not want any of my very dear and loving and concerned subscriber or follower to take any decision basis or driven by your whims, your impulses, your instincts, that you are later on going to regret that decision. So if you're in that stage of your life, some important decision needs to be made, so give priority to the rationality rather than acting out on impulses and instincts. The second thing is that friends, beyond doubt, when we talk about these kind of certain alignments, like for example even this upcoming full moon, so for any sort of religious or spiritual austerity, this can be seen as a very good time. Friends, try to understand this thing that when we talk from the spiritual perspective, there are other planets as well, Jupiter can grant you wisdom, Saturn can give you actually interest in spirituality, but the true nectar of knowledge comes from Ketu only. Like the way the whole essence of spirituality is that you have this conscious awareness that you are the part of the collective, you can relate and connect with the other dimensions as well. So Ketu is the only bridge in our chart which connects us to other dimensions. So because of which, all those people in whose chart you will find a moon to be conjunct with Ketu or any influence of Ketu on their moon, these people tend to remain very, very psychic, very intuitive, and there couldn't be any better combination if you will find this combination to be taking place in the water houses as well. So if you have moon and Ketu conjunct in the 4th house, in the 8th house, in the 12th house, and even if the zodiac sign is also of a water sign, then you can fairly rely and believe on your instincts. But the only concern here is that, friends, all the good things comes with a cost. So all those people who tend to remain very psychic, very intuitive in their negative side or the flow side, they also tend to remain very highly strung, very kind of a very volatile nature. So I always advise people who have Moon Ketu conjunct in their chart that they should learn how to guard their energies and concentrate their energies for the right set of causes. This could be art, this could be creativity, this could be spirituality, this could be devotion, this could be doing something connected with nature, with animals, with wildlife. So now, friends, coming back to over this point, this upcoming full moon alignment, so it is going to be taking place in the Magha. So like the way I was telling it to you, that Magha is ruled by the planet Ketu. Now Ketu has got the rulership of Ashwini Nakshatra, of Magha Nakshatra and Mula Nakshatra. Ashwini stands apart because of impulse, because of healing qualities. Mula stands apart because of the transformation, because of the intensity. But the beauty of Magha is that when we talk about gaining prominence, doing something equally good, either on the material plane or the spiritual plane, Magha holds this potential. Like there has been so many rich businessmen or politicians who have got the blessings because of the prominence of Magha Nakshatra in their chart. Trust me, I will not be surprised that if you will find some child prodigy and all of that, where we keep on hearing all these situations and cases, because in today's day and age the whole world is connected because of internet. So there has been so many instances where someone did not have any proper training or formal training. Suddenly that kid started talking in some foreign language or displaying some very exceptional talents. And if you will look at the chart, not only the ascendant chart, even in the D60 chart, Navamsa chart, you will see the predomination of the Ketu or the Magha Nakshatra over there. So friends, the only one thing which I want to advise to you is that this can be seen as a very good energy or very good time for seeking refuge in spirituality, doing mantra chanting, and taking out time for doing yoga, for meditation, gratefulness, and most importantly going within. Like Magha has got a strong connection with our ancestors as well. So remain very respectful, very reverential towards your ancestors, towards your family, your family's tradition, culture, researching on that and taking out time for contemplation, for meditation, and going deep within for any answers you are seeking, whether on the material plane or whether on the spiritual plane, can be seen as a very good energy for tackling up the energy which is going to be surging up during this upcoming full moon. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say. Now we are going to have a brief look at basis your moon sign, how this upcoming full moon energy is going to be impacting you or influencing you. I will give more emphasis on studying this or watching this video basis your moon sign compared to the traditional approach of ascendant videos which I always make while explaining the transit. So friends, for all the Aries moon people, so definitely friends, it's going to be very highly psychic, intuitive time for you guys, because as you can fairly see that it's going to be taking place in your 5th house. So 5th house, which also has to do with your intellect. 5th house is the house of our pur punya, past life merits. So I would say if you are an artist, if you are a creative person, any important concept or project you are working on, so rely on your gut feel, rely on your instincts. I will not recommend drinking or any sort of tamasic lifestyle or activity or indulgent activity during the predomination of this full moon energy. I would say it can be seen as a very good time if in your occupation, your livelihood, devotion, spirituality, creative pursuit is getting qualified. You can straight away get benefited. And along with that, friends, for any sort of speculative nature of work, it's not a very advisable time for going beyond your means. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Taurus moon people, so definitely friends, as you can fairly see that this whole energy is going to be influencing your 4th house. So like the way I already mentioned this thing at the beginning of this video, that any point of time the alignment or the psychic alignment takes place in the water houses, our emotions, our feelings tend to remain very vulnerable. So it all comes down to in which light you're going to be utilizing it. Try to take out time for, you know, in your domestic chores, in your domestic life, try to find that peace, do meditation, do mantra recitation, be, you know, like if you can actually be nice to your mother, spending time with your mother, like just try to find the harmony within your domestic family life. You do not have to all the time go out for, you know, some yoga classes or go to the beach. Like even like taking out time for your own self introspection, contemplation can be seen as a good way of approaching or dealing with the surge of energies which is going to be taking place. And any important decision if you're contemplating, so going deep within and seeking out the answers, relying on your gut feel. I can fairly say this thing friends, I'm very much sure this video is something majority of the people who have their moon in the water signs or moon conjunct with Ketu, these are going to be the only people who will be watching it. A majority of those people will be watching it. So you know, you have that instincts, you have that blessings within you. All what you have to do is that just scratch it little bit. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Gemini moon sign, so friends, in your case this whole alignment is going to be taking place in your 3rd house. So as you know that when we talk about the 3rd house energy, which has everything to do with our art, our creativity, more than it's like this is the house of our, you know, social media, communication, self-expression, resourcefulness, our hobbies. So I would say friends, definitely like if you are in that stage of your life, you feel struck or you need some, you know, impetus, some kind of thrust regarding the endeavors, regarding the projects you are working on. So I would say that this can be seen as a very good time period for you guys to contemplate, meditate and work on all of your goals, what direction your life is taking, your projects are in which light they are progressing. And along with that, I would say that yes, definitely friends, in your case 3rd house has everything to do with the, you know, short journeys and small journeys. So during this time period, if you want to, you know, undertake any spiritual retreat or do that, you know, evening yoga class or meditation class with any friend of yours, or you know, going to the mountains and you know, or for any camping and doing that, you know, meditation and contemplation, mantra practice, mantra recitation, so that can be seen as a very good time period or good way of, you know, channelizing the energies which is going to brew up or surge up at the predomination of this upcoming like full moon. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Cancer moon people, so definitely friends, whenever we talk about any like alignment where moon is getting involved, whether it's the full moon, new moon, or whether it's about the eclipses, is the Cancer moon people who majorly get influenced. So just because your ascendant lord is involved in it and it is taking place in the 2nd house. Now 2nd house, which also has to do with our tradition, our deeply ingrained values, and this whole alignment is taking place in the Magha Nakshatra as well. So I would say that try to remain very much, you know, respectful and reverential towards your ancestors, towards your family elders. Like I would say that generally, like whether the new moon or the full moon can also be seen as a good time for the doing the donations in the name of your ancestors as well. That can be seen as a very good approach. And try to keep yourself hydrated, you know, like your eating habits, your lifestyle choices, monitor that. Do not undertake any extremely tiring activity. And like the way I already mentioned this thing, that doing mantra, chanting, recitation, reading holy books, and avoiding any confrontation, any arguments within the family can be seen as a good approach for handling this energy. And like the way friends, I already mentioned this thing, that this Magha energy is all about going deep within and asking the answers from your ancestors, any turmoil of life you are currently struck in. And 2nd house also has to do with our finances and everything. So any financial turmoil or confusion, enigmatic situation you are going through, go deep within and you will find the answer. Meditate on your Isht Devta, any of your family guru, Kul Devi, Kul Devta will or can be seen as a right approach of handling up this surge of energy which is going to be taking place in your 2nd house. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Leo moon people, this whole alignment is going to be taking place right over there on your natal moon. So I would say more than the Cancer moon people, it's the Leo moon people who are more on the the radar or getting the spotlight. So friends, to begin with, definitely your ascendant lord sun, which is very much strengthened in your 7th house from your moon sign, it's conjunct with the Jupiter as well. So your priorities should be right now going towards your public outdoor life, towards your commercial decision making and all of that. So I would say that this whole alignment or a full moon taking place in your Magha can be seen as a very good sign for taking some important decision where your public image, your social prestige, everything is at stake. I would say that try not to act too egoistic, because the whole alignment of this full moon is taking place in the initial few degrees of the Aries Navamsa, where fortunately sun, your ascendant lord, gain more strength. So I would say that as long as you are not going to be very egoistic, very pompous, you are not acting very bossy or driven by impulse and instincts, you are taking decision. So then I can say, if you can resist all those temptations, so I would say that for any sort of spiritual elevation, asking out, like specifically if your natal moon is also in the Magha Nakshatra, so showing your respect and remembering all of your ancestors in the good light and asking for the guidance, asking for the next course of action wheresoever in which stage of life you are in, can be seen as a right approach of tackling up this upcoming full moon energy. Take out time for doing yoga, doing meditation, and I can tell you with confidence that your overall life's guidance and clarity which you are seeking from deep within you, you will find that answer. Moving ahead, friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Virgo moon people, so definitely friends, in your case it's going to be taking place in your 12th house. So 12th house, which has to do with the, for any sort of spiritual elevation, this whole alignment can still be seen as a good sign. But the only concern is that 12th house also involves a lot of hidden energy as well. So if you're not that spiritually attuned, then you might feel yourself restless, agitated, fearful, other people trying to harm you. All those thoughts might overwhelm you. So only if you can work in all those areas, I would say doing any charities in the name of pleasing your ancestors, in the name of your departed ancestors, can be seen as a very good time for doing charities, mantra recitation, taking out time for doing yoga, doing meditation. So that can be seen as a good way of channelizing this energy. If any important financial decision needs to be taken during this time or the predomination of the full moon, so unless and until you are not sure, you have given attention to the pros and cons, I would not recommend taking any impulsive reckless decision pertaining your financial matters. Moving ahead, friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Libra moon people, so friends, in your case this whole alignment is going to be taking place in your 11th house. So friends, as you know this thing, that 11th house, which is a very important house, because this is the house which gives us clarity, which gives us progress and success later on, definitely. So I would say that friends, definitely this can be seen as a very good time for going deep within, and if you are lacking any clarity, if you do not know the path ahead, so I would say that meditating, contemplating, going deep within can actually give you clarity regarding the best course of action well suited for you. And I would say that generally whatsoever happens in the 11th house, from the 11th house, that generally happens in a very collective way, being a part of the society, being a part of the community. So I would say friends that this can be seen as a very good time period for if you are a part of, because I'm sure a lot many people who are watching this video, either they must be having their moon conjunct with Ketu or moon in water sign, which in itself makes you very much driven towards the spiritual activities and lifestyle. So I would say that this can be seen as a very good energy, good time period for for any yoga meditation class or doing things in a group, keeping yourself safe, following the pandemic and all of those precautions. But I would say that try to be a part of the collective, take out time for doing yoga, doing meditation, and ask for the divine intervention and guidance for all the goals on which you need to be focusing yourself right now. Moving ahead, friends, now if you want to understand the results for all these Scorpio moon people, so Scorpio moon people are also among those few who get the heat of the vulnerability which gets created during the time of the full moon and the new moon. So specifically friends, because this whole alignment is going to be taking place in your 10th house. So I would say friends, the beauty and the good part is that if your dashas are running favorable, your natal moon is well guarded, well protected. It's not afflicted because of the Saturnian presence or Rahu's presence. So I would say that 10th house, full moon alignment taking place, and moon that too being in the Magha Nakshatra, about the social prominence, and that too in the 10th house. So I would say that for any of your professional goals or any of the next course of action, doing meditation, contemplating, going deep within can actually give you the answers and the clarity. I would say that in your professional front, if some important decision needs to be taken where there is not much of the clarity, or let's say for example if you're already going through some sort of heated energy, because right now even in the transit Mars is right over there in your 2nd house, in your speech, in your tongue, it's sitting right over there. So try not to take any impulsive, reckless action driven by your instincts, driven by your whims, and like the way I have already mentioned this thing, go deep within, take out time for doing mantra practice, meditation, give attention to that in isolation, in silence, what kind of thoughts are coming in, which direction they are guiding you, and that can be seen as a good way of tackling up this energy of upcoming full moon. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Sagittarius moon people, so definitely friends, in your case it's going to be taking place in a very auspicious, most fortunate house, which is the 9th house. The second thing is that friends, just because I've already mentioned this thing, that this full moon is taking place in the Magha Nakshatra, which has to do with our ancestors. 9th house also has to do with the same thing. So I would say remembering your ancestors, even if you can, donate something to any needy person, just, because in our Eastern philosophies and traditions, there are lot many donations which are done just to make our ancestors happy, to seek their blessings. Like I still remember, I don't know, now it's been long time since I left India, but my mother used to make all these donations on every new moon, just to kind of propitiate our ancestors and everything. So I would say that yes, making some donations, charities on the name of your ancestors, feeding some homeless person if you can find. The second thing is that try to attune and align your energies more towards some religious austerity. Had it been some other house, I would have said that just doing the meditation and taking out time for yoga, aligning yourself with the nature can be seen as a therapeutic way of handling this energy. But 9th house has everything to do with our religion, our faith, our hope. So I would say that yes, any sort of religious austerity, and even if that's possible, basis the city you are living in, basis your lifestyle, that a visit to a holy place, like this could be church, this could be mosque, this could be temple, basis your faith, basis your belief, can also be seen as a good way of remembering your ancestors and getting the best out of the energies which is going to surge up at the time of this full moon. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Capricorn moon people, so friends, in your case this whole alignment is going to be taking place in your 8th house. So friends, as you know this thing, that when we talk about the 8th house energy, it's a little bit sensitive energy. In your case it becomes more sensitive because right now very heavy planets are transiting from your ascendant, so because of which your mind, your head right now is kind of has been bogged down with lot of pressure, a lot of responsibilities, and lot many tests and trials which might be going through. So I would say that if you are spiritually aligned, then you do not have to worry about anything. Rather, this alignment or full moon can be seen as a blessing in disguise, where you will definitely get lot of psychic guidance, and psychic awareness is going to be very high, very strong. But if you are not that spiritually aligned, your nature of work, your livelihood involves a lot of pressure and everything, so I would say try to keep your activities, list of activities little bit light during this time, because I do not want to get overstressed, overstrained, and then do something out of impulse, out of whims, out of instincts. So it's better to keep things light, manage your schedule accordingly, and if you can, take out time for any activity which relaxes you. Like even if you want to take any RMT, any massage session, you want to go for any camping or hike, or any of those activities which relaxes you, which rejuvenates you, try to be on that side and try not to be in the confrontation, all those things which might drain you more of your energy. And yes friends, like 8th house also has a lot to do with the psychic intuitiveness. So I would say that monitor the energies, monitor your thoughts, certainly what kind of thoughts are coming in which direction they are sending you. There might be a divine message for you, for your betterment from your ancestors, because taking place in the Magha Nakshatra. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Aquarius moon people, so definitely friends, it's going to be taking place right over there in your 7th house. I would say that the Aquarian moon people are blessed in this regard that right now, as you can say that, you know, like sun is transiting right over there in your 1st house, in your moon, on your moon, like Jupiter, sun, so very positivity is there right over there on your natal moon. So make the best use out of that. I'm not seeing you guys much of the vulnerable. There could be concerns, you know, on the account of your partner. There could be concerns on the account of the, you know, any of the business commercial undertakings which you are a part of, but trust me, it will guide you in the right direction only. Go deep within yourself, and any of the turmoils which you are, if that is applicable in your case, if you're going through that, any of the concerns in your matrimonial life, any of the concerns of your public image, any of the concerns of the commercial undertakings, I can assure you, with the blessings of Jupiter and sun, which is right over there in your moon right now, and contemplating, meditating, going deep within, asking for your ancestors for the guidance, for the intervention, will definitely give you answers pertaining to your 7th house related matters. This is your moon sign. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Pisces moon sign people, so definitely friends, when we talk about the deepest of the water, deepest of the potential of compassion, of feelings, artistic creative potential, that generally comes out of the Pisces moon people only. In transit, as you can fairly see that your 12th house and your 6th house is getting activated, like not activated, it's like the full moon is taking place in this axis. And I've seen so many charts of, you know, Pisces ascendant or Pisces moon people, or specifically girls who are into herbs, who are into healing, who are into Reiki. So if your nature of work involves all these activities, so I would say that yes, if you are coming in the purview of all these connected profession and businesses as well, so you are a healer, you deal in artificial jewelry, you are a nurse, you are anyway, if you belong to the therapeutic side of the society, of the community, so you can fairly get benefited, because it's not like that, because Magha has a lot to do with the spiritual potential with the and the social prominence as well. So I would say that specifically when this alignment takes place in certain houses, it becomes more important to first of all, you know, nurture yourself, heal yourself, and you know, rejuvenate yourself. Try not to undertake any of the very tiring, very draining activity or lifestyle choice during this time. And the second thing is that even helping someone, making some donation on the name of your ancestors, departed ancestors, can also bring and invoke the feelings or the blessings or the grace which will come from your ancestors and might help you deal with the challenges in the daily work life. Magha alignment is a lot has to do because the whole axis is taking place from the 12th house where Sun and Jupiter is present over there. So if any of the challenges, if you're going through pertaining to the matters of the 6th house, concerns of, you know, in your daily work life, concerns going through in your office, concerns of health, going deep within will definitely give you the answer. The voice from deep within you will definitely guide you that whether you are in the right path or you need to make some realignment, restructuring in your daily activities. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming transit, or not the upcoming transit, the full moon taking place in the Magha Nakshatra on February 16th in the Leo zodiac sign, Leo moon sign. So for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.